Sean Diddy Combs, his lawyers have officially sent Netflix a cease and desist over the cringy documentary that just came out. It's a 4-part docuseries called The Reckoning. Oh boy, I briefly spoke about this on yesterday's podcast, just briefly, but if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, you're going to have secondhand cringe. It's it's a bad look. It's a bad look for Diddy. I mean, I'll get into it somewhat, but really, I want to talk about the cease and desist. I want to talk about Netflix, their response. I mean, this is really interesting to me because the footage originally came from Diddy. I mean, you are kind of mind blown here as you're watching this guy yell and scream at his attorneys, but you realize that what happened was that Diddy started filming this and collecting this footage before he was arrested because he really thought he was going to come out on top. And look, let's be honest, his lawyers did an incredible job. He technically did come out on top when you think about it. He was facing almost his entire or the rest of his natural life behind bars, and he's going to serve like less than 3 years. So yeah, technically he did come out on top, but I don't think he initially thought this was even possible for him to serve any jail time. And so when he was filming this, I don't think that crossed his mind. But anyway, now it was in the hands of 50 Cent, and now we see what we see in this doc. First, if you haven't seen it, don't worry. I'm going to play a 1-minute trailer right now before I go through Diddy's initial statement. I'll show you a little clip of the cease and desist, and then I'll show you Netflix, their response. So first, let's play this clip. It is so cringy. It really is just secondhand cringe. I'll rewind it.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs.
Oh, Kim.
All of these reincarnations, all those name changes are attached to really bad deeds.
Everything in life, you're going to have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Okay. I mean, if that is not cryptic, I don't know what is. And imagine someone's going to make a documentary about you or a docuseries, and the production company's like, who hates you the most? Oh yeah, they'd be good. They'd be good to produce it. Okay, got it. Just saying. So let me pull up first and foremost Diddy's official statement from his reps. I tweeted it. I'm going to share this tab instead. You guys know I'm so good at pulling this stuff up and sharing it. It doesn't cause me any problems ever. Okay, here we go. I don't like this little new Grok notification. It is always in my way lately. But yes, this is it. New statement from Sean Diddy Combs. Click to dismiss. Spokesperson on Netflix's 50 Cent production. Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece. Today's GMA teaser confirms that Netflix relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. As Netflix and CEO Ted Sarandos know, Mr. Combs has been amassing footage. Oh gosh, sorry, I kind of burped. Amassing footage since he was 19 to tell his own story in his own way. It is fundamentally unfair and illegal for Netflix to misappropriate that work. Netflix is plainly desperate to sensationalize every minute of Mr. Combs' life without regard for truth in order to capitalize on a never-ending media frenzy. If Netflix cared about the truth or Mr. Combs' legal rights, it would not be ripping private footage out of context, including conversations with his lawyers that were never intended for public viewing. No rights in that material were ever transferred to Netflix or any third party. It's equally staggering that Netflix handed creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta who has spent too much time slandering Mr. Combs. Beyond the legal issues, this is a personal breach of trust. Mr. Combs has long respected Ted Sarandis and admired the legacy of Clarence Avant. For Netflix to give his life story to someone who has publicly attacked him for decades feels like an unnecessary and deeply personal affront. At minimum, he expected fairness from the people he respected. I mean, I think that's a solid statement, except for the last paragraph. I feel like nobody cares about your I'm not singling Diddy out. I'm just kind of saying in general, nobody cares about your personal feelings. I mean, money talks. Hello. Do you think Netflix is going to be like, I've had a couple dinners with Diddy. All this money that we're about to make. Yeah, screw it. We had some good dinners together. I just feel like, that's not a thing. But this, let me show you his, here it is. This is the cease and desist. So they're writing to, the chief legal officer at Netflix. We write on behalf of our client, Mr. Sean Combs, and his affiliates to demand that Netflix cease and desist from publication of the so-called documentary titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. When was this? Okay, this was December 1st. So they sent this before the doc aired. Obviously, they weren't moved by this. Let's just say Netflix. They really didn't care. So let me see how many pages it is. It's it's about 4 pages long. I mean, it's basically threatening that, saying Mr. Combs is not going to hesitate to take legal action against media entities and others who violate his rights. And he's not going to hesitate to do this against Netflix. So because of the potential for litigation, we instruct you to preserve any and all documents and information in any format, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like they are prepping for a lawsuit. And I can almost guarantee that is going to happen. Let me read to you what a Netflix spokesperson told Complex on today. Today is Wednesday, December 3rd. I am pre-recording this episode. So it says, the project has no ties to any past conversations between Sean Combs and Netflix. The footage of Combs leading up to his indictment and arrest were legally obtained. This is not a hit piece or an act of retribution. Curtis Jackson is an executive producer, but does not have creative control. No one was paid to participate. I get that. Let me totally get that. I think that this is lawyer spin. I'm interested to know about how the footage was obtained legally. I mean, if Diddy had something, in talks with Netflix, did he have some kind of development agreement where Netflix owned the footage, that was given to them thus far through a development agreement? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but that could be a pretty interesting civil suit, I feel like, especially with all the discovery, with all the emails and the texts and the contracts. I'm interested. Also, executive producers, they do have some creative control. It's a lot of financial stuff, right? A lot of EPs will sink money into productions, whatever, but they definitely have some kind of creative control. I can understand why Netflix would want to mitigate it, because again, if you haven't seen the doc, I mean, it just makes Diddy look awful. It makes him look like a horrible human, just screaming at people, yelling at people. It kind of brings out just the fact that he was seemingly an addict of all kinds. You've got drugs, sex, whatever, allegations that his mother beat him. I mean, and then they talk about just things with Biggie, money-wise, and things that happened after Biggie's death. Shine, the club shooting, that's disturbing to me. And of course, they have all the legal disclaimers like Sean Combs is never charged, but all of this together, you're like, oh my gosh, this is not great at all. You can tell. I mean, You know, watching him scream at his lawyers on the phone was also interesting after kind of seeing him in court, just kind of, you know, cowering in a different, he was just, you know, his body language was different. Everything was different about him in court than what you see on this doc, which was also wild to me. I mean, I didn't miss a day of that trial. Actually, sorry, I did miss one day. Whatever. But yeah, it's not great for him. I can see why you wouldn't want that up there. But, you know, like I said, it's not like it's going to get him extra jail time or anything. He's just going to have to work that much harder to rebuild his reputation. But anyway, guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. Los Angeles Magazine. I'm Lauren Conlin. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily pop culture, scandals, and crime news podcast.